Well, welcome back everyone. Yeah, sorry if my voice doesn't sound all that good. Kinda still getting over some allergies I was dealing with over the past few days. But I felt that it was time to do another video. For today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Pokemon White and Black 2. These were the final Gen 5 games released in 2012 and are a sequel to Black and White. These games pick up 2 years after Team Plasma's defeat. Team Plasma is pretty much back and still doing all the evil stuff. This time, instead of liberating Pokemon and relying on Reshiram and Zekrom to help them with their plan, they're pretty much using Kyurem and they're trying to freeze the entire region. That's pretty much the entire story of these games. But what do I think about them? What's great about them and what isn't so great? Well, starting off, the pros are, well, the story and the Pokedex. For those who've played the Gen 5 games or who've realized one of the main complaints with them, Unova only had 156 Pokemon in the original Pokedex. The game also wouldn't let you use any Pokemon that you have previously used before until the post-game. And that was probably a point of controversy with these games, as, well, pretty much all these Pokemon were unfamiliar. And previous games before this one still introduced quite a few, well, reintroduced quite a few older Pokemon. But these ones kind of bring back what other games have, as the Pokedex gets expanded by about 150 Pokemon, which is actually pretty nice. It was nice that the Pokedex got expanded, but I never really had an issue with the original Pokedex. A lot of my favorite Pokemon kind of came from Unova, and it was fun getting to use these ones. But I can definitely see why some people would be critical of the decision. Although there are still a few cons, even though they fixed one. But in my opinion, these games are pretty fun. The story was great, the Pokedex was nice, they introduced a few new towns and cities in the region, which makes exploring through Unova that much better. And they don't make us traverse through the region the same way we did last time. In fact, we actually start in another city this time, and we really don't even see a few of the routes and cities that we would pass through on our original journey, as Nakreen City, Accumula Town, and the starting town, November Town, we really don't see until the post game, because we actually start in another city called Dispersa City, and Icarus City is also post game, which makes returning to these places pretty interesting. And we actually get to pass by some places that were originally post-game areas in the original game, which makes it nice getting to travel through them a lot earlier, because the post-game areas in Black and White were pretty interesting, if I'm being honest. But it's time to move on to the cons. For those interested, I will in fact be covering everything I think is great and wrong with these games at a later point, but to be honest, I don't really have much complaints about these games. The only really complaint I have is just you can't train until after first gym. The not using all the Pokemon thing, it doesn't really bother me, because as I said earlier, I had quite a few favorite Pokemon who were in Unova, so I don't really have that as a complaint. But I would probably say that maybe Getsus should have been more involved in the story, as they kind of replaced him with another guy named Korez. And while Korez is an interesting villain, he isn't really as interesting as Getsus. But nonetheless, that's really all I have to say about these games. They're nearly flawless Pokemon games, and to be honest, I would definitely recommend them to anyone who hasn't played them yet. But that's really all for now, so goodbye everyone.